So I have here in front of me one of the mannequins that you would see in a normal BLS, CPR, ACLS class. And to my left and to my right, you have kind of my own personal home concoctions. So I'm going to slide this guy out of frame. We'll go ahead and get started. This first mannequin that I made, I found a particularly fluffy pillow, and then I took one of my childhood stuffed animals. I basically just took the stuffed animal, stuffed it and the pillow into the pillowcase, and then finished it all off with a button-up shirt. Kind of helps to get that practice of unbuttoning and shirts when you have to put on the AED pads or anything like that. So I wanted to have that as a more realistic element to it. So my next dummy is going to look like kind of a pile of garbage, but I assure you, it's all very well thought out. What you can see on your screen right now is that it's very box-shaped, and that is because it's in fact a box. I took a box that I had received some delivery stuff in, and I put a blanket, like basically folded up a blanket and stuffed it in there so that the box is almost full. And then I decided to top it off with a soccer ball for a head. With both of these mannequins, there are pros and cons. The obvious con to this one is that it doesn't really have a face or a neck, so you can't really check pulse, you can't really like figure out where you gotta put your mask on. What's nice about it is that with the box, as you're doing your compressions, it actually kind of gives you an audio cue for your recoil. So a lot of times we go too quickly in our compressions, we don't actually allow for that full recoil. And what's nice about having a box like this is that as I'm going through my compressions, you'll be able to hear as the box gives. You want to have that timing for the recoil. For this dummy, it's going to be a lot easier for me to use my makeshift pocket mask on. It's easier for me to check pulse on because it actually has a neck. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys come up with. Maybe start a hashtag, homemade dummies for CPR, or a better hashtag than that. That was a really lame hashtag. If you guys can think of a better hashtag, then feel free to link it. I'm down. For my personal AED, this is going to look ridiculous. Feel free to laugh, it's okay. I took my toaster off and I wrote AED on it because you need to know that it's clearly not a toaster, it's an AED. Note that my toaster is not plugged in. That's very important. Don't have your toaster plugged in while you're using it for this stuff. It's probably not a very good idea. There's a chance of electric shock, so I'm just saying maybe don't do that. And then what I decided to do for the pads, I found a couple of pieces of paper, and on one of them I wrote a heart, and I drew a little heart on it. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's a heart. And then on the other one, it says ribs, and I drew ribs on it. So it's ribs. And then I attached my fiance's headphones. Don't tell him. The last thing that I could for sure do is I have a makeshift pocket mask. And my makeshift pocket mask is honestly just a funnel that I found in my kitchen. It's just a funnel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on some of these BLS tapes. And then when it comes to the student skill practicing portion, I will be demonstrating the skills with my makeshift mannequins so you guys can laugh at me at home. So let's go ahead and get started.